Hello and welcome to our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, the second game here. I'm glad you've found us. We are glad to be back again this week. We will not be back next week. We will be taking a small break for Christmas, but after that we will be back, or the holidays that we respectively celebrate.
Hanukkah, bitches.
Yeah. I think Ian was going to recap some stuff in a moment from our last game, but just a reminder that we play Monday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Twitch, and you can catch us anytime on YouTube because the videos will be up there whenever we stop being lazy and upload them after Monday. Ian, if you want to go ahead and give us a quick recap from last week.
In the water-swept town of White Sinks, in the inn of the Overlook Inn, a young man named Elrich enters looking for adventuring work, where he meets the rest of the party, which consists of Liam Cross, Morgan Lindor, Raknul, Samuel, and that would be it at the moment, I believe. The party quickly gathers around the work board and is disappointed by the lackluster offerings on table, some of which are vaguely shaded. After deciding on the slim pickings, they decide to leave, but in the hustle and bustle, some questionably legal items which were being delivered to the bar owner managed to escape, and several small fae-like creatures begin to swarm around the building. The party bands together in a show of incompetence to try and catch all of them, managing to capture about 60%. As reward for their work, they are offered a chance to deliver a mysterious package to a person far outside of White Sinks, around a 14-day trip, for 10 gold a day for the whole group. Deciding that, banding together is probably the best way to stave off poverty, the group is now split up to buy supplies.
All right.
Yay.
Chapter 2. The city of White Sinks is like no other city in the world. It is placed upon the western boundary of Lake Elor, where the River Broad pours out through a grand rapid. The dwarves called the Grand Falls Mora Reeve, which is dwarvish for the tears a mother sheds when her children set out into the world. The dwarves built a network of bridges here to connect their Dorgan Reichs of the Erebrine Mountains to those beneath the Empyrean. Those bridges still stand today, and they are known as the Weisteen, or the Way of Rocks. The current city of White Sinks appeared a century and a half before our story began. It is built not beside these grand rapids, but within them. Its districts are set upon the rocks and islands over which the broad river pours. The ivory stone of this city does not wear, even as the decades grind upon it. Many flags have flown from the high castle at its heart, but now it flies the green-leaved banners of Valindia. The water roars beneath you as you cross the bridges of the Keep district towards the north side of the city. The innkeeper Dale pointed you towards a shop there known as Soigné Supplies. And as you near the northern edge of the rapids, an angelic statue towers on the cliffs above you. She is known as the Watcher, and her faceless head is turned east, the same direction you must head next. Back on solid ground and out of the rapids, you begin a slow ascent up the winding paths into the Hallborough district, where at its center you find a long white warehouse that you've been directed towards. Above its open doors is affixed a wrought iron sign that reads Soigné Supplies. The symbol of a compass rose swings below the words. The interior is bright and busy as you enter. 4 lines of shelves run the length of the building and are filled with goods and sorts of all sorts and kinds. Clothes, rations, weapons, and tools sit carefully arranged for the taking, and many of them are being actively taken by the other shoppers at the moment. But by the door sits the watchful proprietor, a young woman with dark hair and porcelain skin. You see her eyes are carefully surveying the room and making sure she notes whatever each member of each guest is doing. But they're also welcoming as she turns towards you and with a smile, kind of gestures out. Feel free to browse. Let me know if you have any questions or need help finding anything.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So we're all in here together at this point, even though we.
Unless anyone would choose to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm allowed to leave my chaperone.
No, you probably need to stay with me. That's
I'm sure there's an interesting story there.
The last time I tried to go through the shops alone, they called the guards.
Did you deserve it, or
No, I was just walking around. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I deserved it. I don't know the rules here.
all right?
In case you haven't picked it up, I'm not from. In case you haven't picked it up yet, I'm not from around here.
So
He kind of grins, and as he does, his tusks are on great display.
I know that the original plan was to do more of everyone buying certain things, but I think that now that we're all here together, so maybe we just everyone handle their personal business as to what they need for the trip. What was our timetable again?
I think we wanted to leave before midday.
No. The actual trip. What was the amount of time we were allotting to do?
Roughly
So-
2 weeks round trip.
yes, and he didn't give us a time we had to be there, but
You just said as quickly as possible.
True. I'm just trying to get an idea for the amount of food and so on and so forth.
About 2 weeks worth, I'd say.
Necessary.
I
Yeah.
would say you might be able to carry a little more than me, but hopefully they should have food where we are going.
Who was it
it's
that
probably-
knew the place we were going?
That was me. They'll have some food where we're going. I mean, it's definitely not like a. I wouldn't expect shops and whatnot, what have you. It's not like they're going to let us starve or anything, but it'd probably be best to make sure we have enough food to get there and back without relying on anything once we get there.
Hmm.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Yes. So I would suggest that everyone gets what they think they need, and if the need arises, perhaps we can supplement for someone that may not be currently able at the moment.
Right.
Do we have someone else joining us? I thought it was just the 6 of us.
Excellent question. Let's pack.
That is,
5 of us.
at the moment.
There are
Elrich would know there's only 5. It's me looking at this. Hang on.
there are only 5 of you.
Well, there's 6 actually, and you see just this little bat crawl out of his backpack, and it's like, if you've not seen, you should look up the adorable baby black flying foxes.
Oh.
Just the cutest thing ever, just on his shoulder.
Chris, is this thing actually cute, or bat's a symbol for
look up
anything?
baby
And it's
flying
What would you say its charisma score is?
Something I don't have off the top of my head.
What an adorable creature.
To give an idea from someone who's just googling this, I would say it looks like something that's supposed to look cute, but absolutely doesn't. Like I see why people would think it's cute, and I get that it's trying to be, but dear God, it looks like it's out of a nightmare.
Yeah, it's got a charisma of 4.
Yeah.
What would you say it? What would you say it was called?
Callie.
Oh, interesting.
What a strange choice.
What a strange name.
In regards to the strange voice I just heard, where did that come from?
And behind you, you would see a woman standing about 5'7" with dark, like jet black hair, like down to her mid back, with a kind of a tannish, coppery complexion and bright green eyes. And the question, is like still stands. What an adorable creature. Where did you get it?
Thank you. It's actually just found it along the way. Hi, I'm Elrich. I don't think we've met.
I'm Seris.
Nice to meet you.
Are you all packing up for a trip?
Yeah, you could say that, I guess.
And where would you be going?
Do you just genuinely ask people where they're going all the time, or is this like?
And do you mean like in a general sense, like today, or in the?
No, I mean in a metaphysical sense. Like where are we
Can I get an overworld map so I can look at the name?
We have a job
Oh, doing
that
what?
we are attending to.
May I inquire as to what?
One second, if you'd mind. And Elrich will like get closer to Liam and try to whisper, but he's not someone who, talking and not being heard, or talking. So, hey, I don't know if this is a good job or not. I think you might have a better idea. Should we be telling people what we're doing?
Don't think so.
While they're debating the moral ambiguity of this, Samuel's just going to stroll on up. Hi, my name's Samuel. What was the name again?
Seris.
Seris. Now, is that spelled with one S or five?
One S. And a C.
All right, Seris. We got ourselves mixed up a little bit in some fun events at the Overlook Inn, and we've been asked to help deliver a message out to the gates of Coltonine.
Oh. I'm headed in that direction myself.
Oh, now what a lovely coincidence. What's bringing you out that way?
Oh, I'm just traveling at the moment. I'm going to eventually make my way towards the Royal Coast, to the cities.
Oh, the Royal Coast. Now that's a fun spot. Now, hold up real quick. If I'm not mistaken, isn't the Royal Coast like the exact opposite ass direction?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay,
Samuel, it does strike your mind that this is the second time this month that you've met somebody that has tried to join with you to go that direction while you were in fact going the opposite direction.
All right. Yeah, that is. What a fascinating twist. You do realize World Coast is off to the west, and we're going east, right?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I did say eventually.
Yeah, that's fair enough. No arguments there. No, I mean, if you're already heading out that direction, I mean, there's no sense in either one of us making the risk of making that trek with fewer companions. Would you mind tagging along with the group here?
Oh, I was hoping you would ask. I don't really like to travel alone.
Don't worry, stand by my side, honey, and you'll never be alone.
Oh, she's gonna kind of like touch her arm and it's like, thank you, Samuel.
Elrich is going to insight Seris. Pretty sure she's a baddie.
Reid, if you could whisper me a deception check for Seris, whether you're lying or not, we always roll the deception because it's just masking your intent.
Got to beat an 18. which I'm sure you can do knowing what you are. Meta knowing what you are.
You would see, like, there's definitely an intent here, like, to ingratiate herself with the group. I mean, you don't know why, but it's definitely like you've seen people trying to like kind of worm their way into stuff before, and she's working at it.
Not realizing he's doing it, but definitely changing where he's standing so Liam is between him and Seris. So I don't know her, but I don't necessarily trust her.
Well, to be perfectly honest, you don't really know the rest of us either.
You know, you're not wrong. I hadn't thought about that.
Now,
Okay, yeah.
I've
Wow.
got a pretty good sense for things of an evil nature, and I could check her, but I really rather doubt it. At any point, it's just one woman. There's a lot of us.
It's just one woman. Casual
I've just read a
sexism
lot of-
dodged.
I've read a lot of stories about things in the night and not trusting strange women that just go up to a group of men and say, "Let me go with you." Just it would make me feel better if you keep your eyes out. Though you're right, I'm gonna insight check.
Chris, can I use my divine sense?
Yeah.
I'll use my divine sense.
Yeah, well, you kind of close your eyes and open your mind kind of to the area around you in the way that you've trained a lot. There's a strong part of your training is to really feel that connection to the divine and the power that you can draw from it. And one of your abilities is that when you kind of meditate for a moment, you're able to kind of reach out and feel the life force of particularly significant beings around you, generally celestials and fiends. I forget what others you can, I think undead perhaps.
Yeah, it's
I believe it's
pretty
any
much a
outsider.
general-
Outsiders is not a 5th edition term, sir.
I'll tell you what I can do. So I can throw it up.
Is it?
I don't think I've seen it in 5th edition.
I don't think it is.
I think
Yeah,
they
it's
always
not.
use extraplanar being.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
Like a magic thing that I would pretty distinctly be able to notice. Or
He's using divine sense. The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor. A powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. You kind of reach out. You don't sense anything in this room. More than the natural kind of
Actually,
beings around you.
Now that I'm looking at that list, you do sense something. The adorable little bat that's on my shoulder is a fiend.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so like, as you kind of
I
reach
didn't
out,
think about that.
you're kind of you've directed your attention like away because you're standing between the two of them. So you've kind of turned towards Seris, and you feel something like crawling almost on the back of your neck. You kind of spin around, and you just see the kind of the bat eyes are like affixed upon you, and there's just like kind of almost a black aura and kind of red pinpoints of light as it kind of creeps back into the shadow of his cloak.
He
I
knows.
kind of,
He also knows the
Look at
type.
you funny.
He also knows the type.
Yeah.
You
Blake
said-
already said it, but I will read.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
You would recognize these are the telltale signs of a fiend.
So I kind of look at you and like, in my professional opinion, Elrich, I think,
Yeah.
at the very least, she's not truly dark, and at the moment,
That's good.
I'm more concerned with the creature on your back than anyone in this room.
She's harmless. Here, watch, and it's very much something magical, yeah, but it's It's under control. I'm here. I can, and I'll.
This is quite literally a fiend, Elrich.
Wait, what?
Would I be hearing this argument?
I mean, it's not an argument. Elrich doesn't know she's a
they were having kind of a whispered conversation. Go ahead and make a perception check, Ian. I'm not gonna have them. They haven't been like particularly stealthy with their discussion, so they're not gonna get a roll against it. But go ahead and give me a perception so I can just see how aware you'd be. Yeah. You would have about like halfway through their conversation, you would have picked up on that they've been talking about something privately and been able to hear.
Hey, Chris, can I ask you a question?
Would I know? Oh, go ahead.
Are items just like around in this store? Like, can I just like pick something, go to the counter, and start trying to purchase it?
Yeah.
I'd like to try and purchase a deluxe backpack for 10 gold pieces and sell my current one for 2 gold pieces.
All right. So as you approach the backpack section, you can see not just the regular packs that you're familiar with, but a variety of other options. And in fact, it seems like most of the shelves are empty, and yet there are still several options to choose from. You're going for the deluxe?
Yeah, I want to get to a deluxe backpack.
You can see that it has like the word deluxe written across it.
Nice.
But yeah, you kind of walk away from the party. There, all this is going on. Then you kind of walk back past the party, who's kind of standing centrally and kind of just, pardon me, kind of.
It's like squeezing my way past in between them in the middle of their conversations.
Excuse me, pardon me.
But yeah, you've she would. Good choice. That's a perfect pack for travel.
I would know enough about magic to. Familiars would be fairly common from where I was from, right?
Do you have a familiar, this find familiar spell?
No, I don't.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. I mean, I was surrounded by wizards, but sure. 21.
Yeah, you're familiar with the find familiar. But you're familiar with the find familiar spell.
I would. By that point, I would pop up for Cross. Oh, don't worry. It really is harmless. If he did it correctly, that thing should be bound to his will pretty much irrevocably. And even if it wasn't, it's a fairly weak creature.
She follows my commands, and I can summon or desummon her at will. Well, I will say,
calm down, Elrich. It's all right.
I am stumbling through this a little.
I'm a very tolerant person. I just would like you to know that I'm aware of its presence and will not tolerate certain activities.
But yeah.
Anyway,
as a general note for you, Ian / in Morgan's experience, you did hear them discussing like it in pretty dark terms, and the familiars you're aware of are generally celestial or fae.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be implausible, and I know that those are pretty weak spirits.
It's certainly not. It's certainly not implausible. You've probably just with that high roll and with your kind of privileged place heard of other regions doing this, but interactions with fiends is not particularly common on your side of the continent.
Right.
But there's a lot of dark rumors about this side of the continent.
This place is fucked up. It's horrible. In the same vein as Raknul, now that has been resolved, and I mage-splained a little bit, I'm going to go over to the backpacks and pick up a deluxe bag. And I'll go over and try and sell my mace and 10 of the torches.
Yeah. And you can see she's got the today and today only special on full trade-in value when you purchase traveling goods.
Does that apply?
I'm lost you there.
Well, I mean, I generally don't consider a mace a travel good.
No, when you buy travel goods.
When you're buying any travel goods.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then 5 gold. And how much does a torch cost?
1 copper.
Oh boy, 1 silver. Yay.
Hey
Take
man.
those.
And
We
do
do take
you
those.
keep track of your exact change?
Oh yeah. No, I'm.
We are low level friends.
I would also like to buy it. I would also like to buy a 2-person tent.
When you go to approach the when you're kind of looking around in the travel and goods section, you do see there are other tents as well. There's a quite a large teepee that looks like it could house maybe 4 people.
There's a solid chance that's a little too rich for my blood.
All right.
Well, okay, like, I could, but that drains almost the rest of my money.
How much do you need?
I don't need. It would leave me with 1 gold.
Right. How much do you have? Is what I guess.
I have 9 gold. Presently.
I will give you. I'll split that with Raknul if he'll carry it.
Okay. It's 8 gold pieces? Yeah, 8 gold. So you want to pay 4, and then I'll pay 4, and then I'll get a 4-person tent.
Yep. Just so long as I reserve a space. And then I'll go and buy some warm clothes and a warm cloak. Oh, I'll also trade in my backpack. My old backpack, rather.
By my count, we'll need at least 1 2-person tent as well.
You are kind of almost cut off as Seris has followed you to the traveling goods.
I'd like to do some finger arithmetic and determine that yes, she is in fact correct.
There she goes again. All right.
She's gonna kind of like nudge Liam. You want to share that tent with me?
I'm sure we can work out sleeping arrangements at some point. For the meantime, I'm gonna need.
Samuel's gonna look a little disappointed.
Don't worry, Sam. I'll sleep with you.
Fair enough.
What? Did I say something weird?
No, I didn't say. I'm taking anything weird. Now let me see. How much does one of those tents go for?
Chris, I'd like to sell all of my useless stuff that I have no need for.
Do you want to define what those are, or do you?
Yeah, I will lay it out on. It out for you.
There's an open space in front of the shop owner, Arisha, if you would like to begin to one by one pull things out of your pack and set them there.
Oh yeah. We're gonna start here with my sensor and my alms box. And
you can see she kind of opens the sensor and kind of sniffs and sees like it's clean and hasn't been used.
Yeah. They gave me this on when I left, and there's just no need for it at the current moment. I don't perform many rituals out on the road. Let's see. I got that alms box, and I'll probably try to pawn off my vestments as well, because yes,
your vestments.
Yeah. Unless you're saying that that's what I'm currently wearing over the.
What would define you as a man of the cloth? Then?
Actually, yes. No, that's right. Okay. Yes. Forget that last bit. Just those 2 things then. I think.
Is vestments part of the priest pack? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the only clothes you have? Does that have weight to it? Like.
I don't think it has weight to it.
I'm sure it does.
Nope.
I will say that we'll just roll that into you have your current clothing item.
Okay.
I'm not sure what kind of clothing item you have, but whatever clothing item you have is we'll combine that with the vestments and say that it is a Pelor-themed garments.
Okay, then I think it's just those 2 things because I think I can use the rest of it. And then,
All right.
as far as equipment, is there another 4-person tent? Or just
Yeah, there is one other 4-person tent.
Thinking about it. No, I'll get a 2-person tent.
We could do the 4. I'll throw in on it.
I'm more concerned about weight.
Yes.
Is the thing.
I'm not terribly stout.
No, you ain't, girl.
I'm a fairly strong person
I'll
myself.
take that as a
but
compliment, Samuel.
Oh, it's meant as one.
that I'll need to save some room for other things of necessity. Okay, so I'll do the I'll get a 2-man tent, and I don't think I need a bigger backpack, but the 2-man tent, and I wanted to get that cloak that makes me warmer.
Okay.
I find where that is.
Good choice. Good choices. I see you guys are clearing out a lot of my winter gear. Kind of off season, isn't it?
Yes, but we are traveling somewhere a bit higher in altitude.
Ah.
There's a mild concern that it could be a bit colder.
Well, be careful. I do hear that there was a recent storm kind of pushing into the Erebrine. But I guess with this much, these garments, you're probably looking more at the higher mountains.
As she says that, Morgan comes up with a warm cloak and warm clothes.
And
Good,
she
yes.
kind of takes them in kind of so the Empyrean Mountains then.
I have no idea how cold it's going to get.
Well, it can get pretty cold at night. It's really the wind that gets you.
Do you have anything for wind? I mean, besides warm cloak.
As he says that, Samuel's going to come up with a scarf and a warm cloak.
And she points into nothing will keep the wind off you like a scarf. It is unbelievable how much of the body heat is just lost through the exposed areas that people don't normally think about.
I will go and grab a warm scarf.
It's good to know. Let's see. Elrich will grab.
Oh wait, also a blanket and 2 apples.
You do see, and that's something that you, being from the islands, being from the sea, are familiar with these delicacies.
Mm-hmm.
But in these lands along the royal coast, that is what they are. They have to be imported all the way from the faraway land of Cuega. But yeah,
How's
there's
that land doing these days?
you
Boom
don't,
in Apple economy, let me tell you.
it's doing quite well. I don't think you've ever been there. It's a little bit far even for you, but the royal coast is named for one of the seas. There are 7 of them, I believe.
Pacific.
And, the Royal Sea is the one that kind of goes within the kind of the crook of the continent here. And Cuega is the land far to the north. You'd have to sail across most of the islands and most of the 7 seas to get there.
Yeah, I've not been to Cuega.
Let's see. Elrich would pick up. He'd swap out his backpack. Pick up.
Sorry. To clarify with the apples, there's 5 apples for sale.
All right.
Okay.
Jesus.
I took the warm cloak, so that's 3 gold, and then
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Blake, but
It's fine.
I'll do 3 apples.
Blake/Will. Dude, I can't stop myself from calling you Blake. It's just never.
You were on a good streak until we started, interacting with possible groups of people.
And I will go grab 5 loaves of bread for everybody.
Yes.
Of bread.
Seris will pick up a warm cloak, a scarf, and probably how much like rations, like does like bread and cheese and stuff, like how's that work, Chris?
You have to consume a pound a day.
A pound a day?
Yes. So, you would know. You've traveled. I mean, especially to get here from your home, you've traveled quite far. A person must consume 1 pound of food per day. That is the bare minimum to avoid like negative penalties. Less than that, you begin to starve. Not as quickly if you still kind of ration it out. Like you can make the starvation process take longer, but 1 is the very bare minimum. It's pretty uncomfortable, but it's doable.
Okay.
But they also have for sale rations, which are it's obviously everyone knows what the term rations are, but these are a specific thing, a specific set of meal of kind of dried nuts and meat that is it comes together as a package, and though it's a little heavier, it is well preserved and it never expires, so it's great for kind of long journeys, or if you just need to keep a few around for emergency situations here and there. But for the most part, you'd be looking at wanting to get food in at least 1 pound a day.
Okay. So that's what?
It occurs to me that because of my constitution modifier, I could survive on half a pound of food for the entire duration of this trip, assuming it lasts 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that sounds really shitty.
Yeah, it does.
But he could do it.
but I could do it.
I will say, and this is just a general note for the players as well as the audience, which is that there are some times in games where there are mechanics which are designed for like certain situations. I would say the starvation mechanics are designed for like when it's a risk of starvation. And you can certainly abuse them in other situations, but doing so might prompt your DM to harshen the survival rules. And the deal might get worse and worse every time. And by the end of it, you might find yourself in a legitimate survival situation and just be completely boned because of how harsh your DM has made the survival situation to prevent you from gaming the game unnecessarily.
On that note, I'm going to pick up a bedroll because I didn't start off with one, and it's been a really shitty hike up here. I'm going to swap out my backpack. I'm going to pick up a warm cloak, a nice, like, sort of green scarf that he'll just go ahead and put the scarf on after he buys it. 2 hunks of meat, 2 hunks of cheese, and 2 loaves of bread.
All right.
Question. Ian, does Morgan have the light cantrip prepared?
Yes, he does.
Dank. I'm gonna get rid of 8 torches and get 8 copper pieces.
And you can see that like no sooner do you sell the torch or set the torches on the table than somebody else who was kind of looking around hunting torches sees them and like just slides them over into his pile of things that he's preparing to purchase.
Cool.
They seem to be highly in demand.
Good for him.
Let's see. What's the
Raknul, would you be okay with carrying this bread?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to hand you 5 loaves of bread. That just saved me 7 pounds.
How many loaves of bread?
5.
Okay. I removed 8 torches, so this is -8, and that means it's 24. And I need to buy a scarf.
See what you've done, Chris.
Outfitting the party in scarves, dude.
Liam, not to presume, but
Yes.
you said there was someone else you thought should be with us. I don't remember if you brought up who they were, but
Oh, yes.
would they be joining us on this, or is it more of a my father Pelor is always with us and he will be joining us on this?
Well, Pelor is always with us, but my
Ion is too.
Okay.
my sister of sorts was traveling with me earlier, but she seems to have disappeared. I had thought she would arrive at some point today, but it is a mystery. She's well off on her own if she doesn't show, however.
All right. I just wanted to see if you thought we should equip her as well.
Let's see. I'll make sure I grab some extra things just in case. Thank you for bringing that up.
The exchange rate's all like base 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually it's exponential, so it's like base 6, base 7, then base 8.
Not base E.
Until we get to the Electrum, everything's based in.
No, there's no. All right. The first mention of house rules at this table, certainly not because we are playing homebrew Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Electrum does not exist. Fuck that shit, dude.
I seem to remember there was an Electrum sword last campaign, but all right.
I don't
So
remember.
Electrum does exist as a material type. It isn't used as.
But what kind of idiot would turn that into a currency?
I'll say seriously, within the lore of the Royal Coast, we're saying that Electrum is not used as currency on the Royal Coast because metric master race, yo.
Somebody heard about a metric between copper and silver and was like, why the fuck would you have that?
Between silver and gold, actually.
Oh, really? Oh.
Both?
Yeah, God, Ian. You're
Half
so
gold.
dumb. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Do you even play Dungeons and Dragons?
You know what? You can shove that Confederate $50 right up your pooper.
So, Chris, what is the actual going rate for gold by weight? Could we
Gold by
start
weight?
could we start melting down these coins?
All coins are 0.02 pounds.
Yes, all coins are 1 to 50. So 50 coins will equal 1 pound.
All right. No, I meant like I was joking about us melting them down to have more money than they're actually worth.
Interestingly enough, it is actually a metal-bound currency where it is always worth the correct amount, and it doesn't really change.
I'll stop questioning your economy, Chris.
I will say there are perhaps, places where gold or silver is, or copper even, are more common. And in those places, there is a deflation. But deflation, that's the right way? Like gold might be worth less than 1 gold in some places, but in almost all places, it's worth 1.
I tell you what, Chris, do I notice the fishing tackle that's listed here?
Yeah,
I would like to
you do
purchase
see they do have a set of fishing tackle. There's also a net alongside it.
I would like the fishing tackle, and I'm going to go ahead and purchase. Let's see. I probably need to get some for Riona. So let's say.
I love Dungeons Breath of the Dragon.
I'm
I get
2 fucking gold
days
short.
of
I'm still copper short.
That works.
I've got 3.9 or 3 copper and 9 silver if anybody needs anything else.
I could borrow. So with my very vague knowledge of magic, I noticed we have a few holy people, but if you wouldn't mind loaning me 2 copper, I could pick up a healer's kit and maybe give us a little more grounding if there's any emergencies.
That's probably a good idea because I can't actually stabilize people when they're down.
Okay, that's good to know.
And I'll give him a silver. Bring me back change.
Sure, and I'll spend the rest of my money to buy a healer's kit.
Okay, so where am I at currently? 3, 4, 5.
Good news is I am proficient in medicine.
So I think we have the same proficiencies.
Oh, all the knowledges?
Chris or
I will note the healer's kit does come in a leather pouch that can also be worn as a satchel should you choose. It can fit in a lot of different slots, but if it isn't in a defined slot and it's just in your backpack, it is actually 2 actions because it's 1 action to pull it out and then 1 action to use it.
So I have the component pouch at my
Where you
waist. Is there another convenient spot I could put it? Like on my leg or strap it there or something?
So we're using a homebrew rule of slots rules. I posted them a long time ago while we were playing in our old home game, but we've kind of re-updated them for this campaign, which we're bringing kind of non-magical items into the mix. It's kind of just an experiment we're running. We'll see if we like Breath of the Wild or not. But at the moment you have 2 waist slots. It could go in either of those.
I'll put it on my waist next to my component pouch then.
All right. Anybody else have anything else they would like to go after here?
I would actually like to inquire about animals, possibly. I figure we don't have the money for it, but...
Yeah, I don't really have any here. I do have some kind of some barding and stuff. I'm just kind of out of my usual stock. I usually keep a couple, beasts of burden here and there, but there's a couple places around town I can point you towards. What would you be kind of seeking?
A mule and a mule, maybe?
40 acres with it?
What was that, Blake?
Nothing. Me making a shitty joke.
Oh,
a mule and 40 acres. Nice.
oh dear, what's my maximum weight?
Just as a cost estimate.
I do think there's probably something pretty similar to that, but animals, livestock in general isn't going to come particularly cheap.
Fair enough. We'll leave it be. Thank you so much.
I can't speak to what you'll be able to find. I think you could probably find a mule. It'd probably be your cheapest option. It would be somewhere between, 8 to 10 gold.
Yeah, no, I think we'll just stick with the tiny bat.
He's pretty cute.
I assume we're doing
They're
all
a
this
vector for
money
leprosy,
math on
no?
our own here. There's no log of this.
There's no what?
You're not. Are you? How much are you monitoring what we're doing here?
I assumed that you were monitoring it.
Okay, I am. I'm just making sure that
we don't have to say everything that we're buying. We can kind of do it.
I think at this point we're good if you just kind of you let me know, but you're good to glaze over it. I've got my 15 minutes of shopping. I'm good if you want to just kind of work on it. But
I think I am fantastic right where I'm at because I spent most of my money already. So.
All right. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to go for?
Not
we haven't
fam.
made us start fires.
I pull out my tinderbox.
Yeah, we've got
As does Samuel.
I also cast Prestidigitation and make a tiny spark.
Oh,
that is wonderful. When I do it, it's just
magic user.
Oh.
As you say that, you do actually as you say that, Reid, or Seris.
Yes.
Somebody does kind of hear you and glance over just at the words, and several murmur something, and several others kind of look, and before long, about 8 or 9 people are kind of looking over at your finger lit on fire like a lighter in the middle of the store, and it stands out.
I blow the finger out. In what I think probably looks cool, but Morgan just looks like an asshole.
Morgan,
It actually takes you like 2 or 3 tries to get it out.
Yeah, I miss.
You like shake it a little bit.
What about rope?
I'm definitely not the expert in this field, but we might want to. Magic isn't as welcome in these.
Has Samuel already paid for his shit here, Chris?
Sure.
All right, cool. He's gonna get the fuck out of this. He's gonna get the fuck out of this place, and
It
just wait
didn't
by the
look
door.
like they were like angry mobbing, but they. I mean,
He
they were
does not want the attention. He's getting the fuck out.
I think I said this last game, but I'll say it again just briefly, which is that magic is pretty rare in these parts. Any magic at all, especially the arcane, is like the stuff of legend and myth.
Yeah, but Morgan is not good at reading a room.
Like, it's maybe not legend and myth, but definitely like celebrity status.
And that's why I would go to her and be like, hey,
If there's a magic user in 100 miles, literally everyone knows.
it might not be as big of a thing where you're from, but
You can smell it on the wind.
If there,
it's frowned upon, or it's not frowned upon, but it's let's
Like-
just say I learned in secret. Yes.
If there was like a wizard or a sorcerer, like those two trigger words, or even like a warlock, which are all like terms that you've heard, people would come to see. Like, it would be an event for one of those to be around. There's just a really a handful of them, and they're all pretty well-known individuals.
It seems a bit odd to get worried about, cantrips, but okay, I'll take that under advisement. And
Yeah, I mean that all of that is true where you're from as well, Ian, but less so for Morgan.
yeah,
But not like it's still nowhere near as common as like the average Forgotten Realms setting or something like that. Or
I mean,
even the continent you guys were on in the home game.
yeah. I mean, high elves can cast that innately, or at least something similar to that.
There are high elves from where you're from? I
No.
thought most of them were. There aren't many houses around here. I didn't think there were many around.
No, I studied elves.
Oh yes,
You go
me
back
as well.
far enough.
Elrich will say in Elven, me as well.
Oh, Spike and the Elvish?
We are not doing this again.
Stop.
No.
Oh, fine. Parlez-vous France, Elvis?
Do you speak Draconic, Will?
Well, I, Will Jackson, do not.
Yeah, they were
But
all
Elrich does. He speaks.
Elric would speak.
Oh, Spike and speak his.
Elven, Common, Dwarvish, Celestial, Infernal, and Draconic.
He just said some like bastardization of do you like, or it would be like do you and right. No, it'd be the speak. You heard like speak Elvish, but it would like 2 different languages.
Yes, to both.
In Elvish, I'll just say, yeah, no, I was trying to be funny. I don't know Draconic.
That's
that-
the only
it-
word I know, dude.
Is everybody just still kind of like standing, like congregated in a circle in the middle of the room?
Watching us speak like
No. Just the
Kind of-
party.
We'll think you guys have drifted around from aisle to aisle as the stuff you've been shopping for is happening in the same spots.
This whole conversation's happening in front of the bog rolls.
And Samuel, you've gone outside.
Yeah.
You've got a beautiful view. Kind of the road ahead, like basically this road is built like kind of a ribbon along the cliffside. It was originally just built to connect two of the districts, the Perch district and the I think it's called Trivium, the original city. But it has since kind of grown as people have been managed to carve houses into the cliffside here and become Hallborough. And basically there's most of it's kind of above you behind, like where the warehouse is built, like on towards the north, like away from the rapids. But now, as you look out in front of you, it kind of just opens wide, and you just have this kind of crashing of water, and it's loud, and it's quite wet. Like there's a lot of moisture that's tossed up, and it does take you back to the sea a little bit, as it's just this huge amount of churning of water. I mean, having spent your whole life on the sea, this is still like an impressive show of water.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill here and just kind of get lost in the memories while I just kind of sit down and wait for my group to figure out how to buy things and get out of the store.
Does anyone have any rope?
I've got 50 feet of rope.
As do I.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we had some just in case.
I also have a mess kit, and he starts pulling out pots and small pots and pans. Leather gloves.
Bravo.
An engineering reference book that I got from a friend.
I will say is you will take stock of the remainder of your items. We'll go ahead and it's actually it's kind of on the early side for a break. But because we're about to actually embark, I think we'll go ahead and do a break right here.
All right.
Good with that. We did one kind of late last time, so we'll do early this time. All right. And we are back from our break. You all find yourselves kind of heading back across town over these little bridges that connect island to island, rock to rock, and wind your way back into the very beautiful district of South Shore. Where the Overlook Inn is. You had kind of tentatively said you were going to check in here before you left. And as you kind of approach the building, you see standing out front a familiar figure to you, Liam and Raknul. A woman in clothes and armor that match those of Liam. Simple but well made and adorned in the sunburst symbols of Floor. White hair sits upon her shoulders, and she looks at you all with dark eyes, but somewhat with a smile and kind of a light demeanor. Bronwyn, anything you'd like to add about your character?
What time of day is it?
It's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. I'd say she probably I'm gonna say she probably looks like she just woke up. She has a little bit of bedhead going on, and she's just looking around and spots Liam and goes oh hey, and waves over, and walks over to you guys.
Oh, there you are.
Actually, we've never actually properly described any of our characters' appearances.
That's true.
I did a little one over everybody when they walked in.
Yeah.
Sorry if I cut my mic. I'm choking for some reason.
Is there anything you'd like to describe about your character that we didn't touch on the other day, Will?
I forget what we touched on. I think that he's a tall, lanky kid that's dirty and wearing traveler's robe and has his dark hair back in a ponytail. He does not look as much as Harry Potter as the brief intro description made it sound. I think that sums it up.
He looks like an emo Draco Malfoy who is poor.
Not poor, just dirty. And
So just an emo Draco Malfoy?
Huh?
So just an emo Draco Malfoy?
As emo as Draco Malfoy.
I was to say, you could probably just shorten that to Draco Malfoy and just call it a day.
In any case, among others, you see this character with Liam and Raknul, the two that you're familiar with.
Oh God, are we collecting another one?
Oh, hi.
Where were you?
What?
Where were you?
I slept in a bit late.
Hi.
Beauty sleep, don't we? What's your name?
To the Pixies?
The what?
The Pixies. Or the fairies or the...
I'm gonna say yes, probably. I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, I'm Elrich. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Liam, who? Did we pick up a stray or something? Or
We've picked up quite a few, actually.
oh.
So here's the deal. I'll get you up to speed real quick. We got a job, and
Okay.
these fine people are going to help us complete it. I presume you would like to join us?
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's a 2-week courier mission. We've got a message to deliver, and we think it'll take about 2 week to get there. So that's pretty much the basis on what's
I
going
will
on.
say, and I think I can't remember if you discussed this before the break or on the break, but it's actually so because the weeks here are 5-day weeks. It is actually technically 3 weeks is really realistically what it would be.
It's my bad.
Very slight terminology difference.
If you got 14 days of food, you're good. Yeah.
The key is that we have enough supplies. If there's anything you might need, you probably need to run and get it. We are... about what time is it now, Chris, do we think? What's the sun?
It is 10:05.
We were trying to leave by noon-ish.
Mr. Cross, not to, obviously your sister's going to be included in the pay split, but what about Seris? I'm sorry, could you Seris?
Seris.
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 Yes.
Is she included in the pay cut?
It was my understanding she was simply tagging along because she was headed
good.
that direction.
Good. Lovely.
Not that I mind either way.
I'm sure we can work something out if need comes to be.
We should get going.
I agree. Riona, how fast can you be ready?
Oh, probably no more than about half an hour, maybe. Just get all my stuff together and see if I need anything. We can head out.
That works probably wonderfully.
Yeah.
Let's we'll get a move on as soon as she gathers her things then, unless anyone else has any final business to attend to.
No. I don't believe I do. Sam?
No, I'm good.
Well, this is sufficiently awkward. I'll see you all in 30.
All right, we'll say you all part ways. Take care of any last minute tasks or business you need to, and rejoin as 30 minutes have passed, and you're all ready to go.
All right. Does anyone have a map and or know where we're going? That was probably something we should have brought up earlier.
Morgan points to Sam.
You just kind of follow the river along the.
We'll say you all are meeting inside the Overlook Inn, where there is a large map painted on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you just kind of follow this. The road here follows the river for the most part, and then, once we get up here, you go right. I mean, it's not a complicated path. I don't feel like we really much need a map to bring along with us. Follow the road, go right at the fork.
Right. That seems fair. It looks fairly simple. So as long as there's nothing stretching us on the path, it should go without a hitch.
Well, as you all kind of set out on your way, let's go ahead and discuss for the first time of this campaign marching order.
Morgan would stay in the middle.
Sam would be okay going up front. I've got okay perception, so
How big is our path? Is a good question.
You're not sure what the path would be in like ahead. This is kind of our static marching order for the current time.
Okay.
So wait, we've got Morgan in the middle.
Starting out, could we be like 2 abreast, or is it single file?
No, I mean absolutely. I mean within the city you could be 3 abreast easily, but we're basically you have the option to form ranks here, and if those ranks don't fit the like situation you find yourselves in, either I will tell you or we'll work it out as it happens. But
while traveling, at least, Elrich would probably be at the back, less on purpose. He'd probably start in the middle and do that thing where you start reading while you walk and start.
All right, we'll put Elrich in the back rank.
Yeah, Seris would probably be right there behind Morgan.
I'll take right behind front if.
Okay, in that case, I'll be towards the rear. I'll be rear guard, basically.
All right, so let's go ahead and say we're gonna have, for the sake of the current situation, we're gonna have front, middle, and back. So we've got front is Liam, right?
Yep, Liam and Sam.
Should be Liam and Samuel.
And Sam, Morgan, and
Seris.
Seris in the middle, Elrich and Riona in the back. Where are you, Raknul?
Everybody fucking pleases.
Apparently. Nah, I'll stick towards the front, I guess.
All right. Because like the streets of White Sinks are well made and wide, at least in the districts that you're passing through at the moment. It's actually when it's been a kind of a rising center of commerce, but especially when the Broad River Vale was annexed by the King of Valindia about 15 to 20 years ago. It's kind of sketchy which date you use, whether you use the beginning of the annexation or the cessation of combat. But a lot of these roads were built then, and they were built kind of as a symbol of it joining that empire, and with a lot of resources, so they're wide. And those that weren't built then are in large part of the Dorvish road that went through here, and that is on a quite large scale. It's actually, the bridges are about 30 feet wide. So like, as far as going through the city, which is the narrowest part you're really looking at right here, you're fine to be 3 abreast. But yeah, you kind of wind your way. Let's see, we'll throw it back to White Sinks very briefly. Back through the Keep District, across the Weisstein, the bridge that was the Dorvish Bridge, and up below again the kind of faceless gaze of the Watcher on the hill, the giant angelic statue that is set within the Perch District, and up towards a district that I don't think any of you have stepped foot in yet. Kind of a interesting long road in which there's kind of a lot of buildings that are crammed together along the sides of it, despite the fact that it's pretty open beyond them. It's just there's definitely the notion of whether you're on Green Street or you're not on Green Street, and it's better to be on Green Street, and that most of the kind of businesses and houses are centered along it. It is a little bit of a poorer district than some in White Sinks, not quite as destitute as perhaps areas of the Central Island or especially the Dock District, but it is kind of a lower income area, so to speak. It is a place where a lot of unapprenticed youth gather, and you all being relatively well outfitted, you catch a lot of looks, not really out of fear, but just out of notice. People observe your presence as you pass. For some of you, that's kind of a new thing. For others, it's relatively complicated.
I'll have Callie just perched on my pack, keeping an eye out behind me.
All right. And slowly the kind of the 3-story cobbled together buildings become 2-story buildings, become 1-story buildings, become less business and more just homes. The homes grow farther apart, and gradually you find yourselves leaving the boundaries of what is really considered White Sinks. Unlike a lot of major settlements, White Sinks doesn't have walls. It doesn't have military protections beyond the individual keeps within, some parts of the city, especially the islands, just because it is such a hard city to really lay siege to, that it hasn't needed that historically. But you find yourselves in a kind of quiet green wood that separates White Sinks proper from the miles of farmland that feed it. Let's see. Are we back on the overall map now? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
We are.
About the first hour, you upon like kind of leaving the last of the houses of Green Street behind, you all see the first of the kind of what's the proper way to say this? It's like fiefs, so to speak, which is that the kind of political structure of Alindia at large, but especially the Vale, is split between the cities, which are more, or I guess free in a way, are ruled by individual mayors who are chosen in some way by the people of the city, sometimes more by the affluent, sometimes by the poor. It varies from city to city. And then those mayors are kind of approved by the king, and they serve the king's discretion. Whereas everything outside of the cities is either just property of the crown, quote, quote, undisclosed, or is granted to individual lords who then grant it to people beneath them and all the way down the line. And about an hour and a half from White Sinks, you see your first major of these places is set actually on the right side of the road out towards the first signs of the large lake that feeds White Sinks. And it's a pretty simple thing. It's just kind of a square gray tower, but around it are a few small houses. And that first sight is something you see a lot as you travel. It's well repeated. This is a settled land, at least along the road. We'll say, shortly thereafter, you do get your first really great look at the lake, which is just kind of a massive stretch of water. For most of you, it's nothing new. Most of you have spent time in the sea or along the oceans. It's nothing compared to the lake you grew up on, Morgan, either. But it is quite a quaint place, and it's peaceful. It's quiet. There's only a few traders that go by, and they seem mostly to keep to themselves and not, shout out or ask for news or discuss anything.
What a lovely pond.
This is huge. This is actually massive.
No.
You mean that there's water like this other places?
You can see water bigger than this, actually, where it just goes on for as far as the eye can see.
That is terrifying.
Actually, it's quite beautiful.
It's beautiful, actually.
I don't know how to swim, so I would disagree with you.
I could teach you.
Fun fact, actually, most disappearances at sea result in an attack from an underwater being.
I don't think that fact is fun.
Well, we could start in a pond. He doesn't have to start in sea.
Doesn't sound entirely correct to me.
Chris, would I know if that's true or not?
Sounds like yes.
Make a history check.
All right.
Should I roll bluff?
We could start in this pond.
We are on business right now. Maybe let's not try throwing me in water.
12.
I don't know. You look like you could use.
Did you whisper me your bluff there, dude?
Oh, I can.
Well, you said you were rolling it, dude.
Oh, no, I asked if I should, but I will. How do I set this to GM?
It's not really. No, I don't know why. It doesn't sound quite right to you, Samuel.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's. Where did you hear that? Morgan.
Oh, come on. I have to have a little fun.
Fair enough.
Why would you lie about attacks from beasts?
As a general note, you actually can't see the opposite bank of, like, the far bank of this lake. It is large enough that the water does kind of go to the horizon. The road here does it kind of weaves it back and forth between really being on the lake shore and being more distant. And as in the stretches where it's along the lake shore, you find it is rather rocky, almost like you would find more on an ocean. And you can hear the lake shore coming almost from a distance by these kind of roar, 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 kind of strange hollow barking noises. See, there's these collection of like kind of smooth skinned antlered creatures that are quite large that kind of are standing along, and as they kind of go, they look, roar, 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 roar. But the road never really gets close enough that they become kind of a threat to you.
Nature is truly a wondrous thing.
I just set off the neighbor's dogs making that weird noise.
Good job, man.
It seems we didn't even need to buy rations.
Do I know those? I'm gonna make a quick nature check.
Yeah.
I recognize that. A solid maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they're so you're not from that far upstream. These are known as Ustir.
All right.
Oh, they're sea cows.
Can we eat them?
I'm sure you can.
Heads at orc.
They're pretty clumsy on land. You know that people do eat them. They have they have a taste like venison, but with a texture that is much kind of lighter. But they're a lot more fatty as well.
I will Jackson it. Interested.
Look, if we want, look. I've got 4 javelins and a lot of strength. If we want to sidetrack ourselves this fast, like.
I mean, anybody got an extra room in their backpack? I can.
Maybe not in my bag.
I'm afraid that we may have wasted some gold on rations.
I mean, let's not commit to poaching just yet.
That is a great point.
Someone else.
Oh, right. There's a thing.
I feel like that was brought up earlier for some reason.
We are technically on land that somebody owns, possibly.
Yeah.
You would know that it is the king's land at large. If you would like to recall your knowledge of the laws of the kingdom in this area, you can absolutely make.
Didn't we travel with someone who was very upset about other people poaching?
That was in the games we don't that was in the prologue. We played a few games before the campaign started, just to feel for the characters.
One of those people had a lot of issue with poachers.
I would love to do that.
But go ahead and make a history check, and then I will go ahead and talk about it in this.
Reiterate
the law of the land.
Is that just like an open history check to everyone, or what?
Anybody who would like to.
All right, fuck it, let's go. Yeah!
Nice job, buddy.
You are unfamiliar with the use of the word poaching. Raknul.
I don't think I would have higher enough roll. I have no idea. I have no idea about this.
While you were traveling before, like when you met with Riona and Liam on the road, you do remember people using that word a lot. You still don't know what they were exactly talking about, like in great detail. But it's something illegal. Morgan, well, we'll start with Morgan. You know this just because of your study before you came here, because you don't really get into things without looking ahead of yourself. And more notably, Elrich, you're familiar with the laws of the land. It's not illegal to hunt for your own use. However, it is the hunting, so either hunting on land that is owned or granted to somebody else, of course, but also anything that you're intending to sell or distribute to others that are not of blood with you. So you can hunt for yourself, you can hunt for your family almost anywhere, except for, like in the valley, it seems like almost anywhere because there's tons of unknown land. But if you're trying to take it into towns, you do need licenses.
So I think we would actually be fine with these. Yeah, it should be fine. Just try to eat it before we get anywhere.
Well, let's just wait. I mean, we don't
press on.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be ample opportunities on the way for hunting for those that wish to eat
I'm
non-dried fruits.
gonna put my javelins away.
Sadly.
Just gonna pull out a hunk of meat and start gnawing on it.
Raw meat? Just raw
the
meat?
prepared meat we got from the store.
Jerky.
It's actually like not jerky. It is cooked and it is seasoned in such a way to hold, but it is not like jerky where it would last for like a long time.
I imagined like a ham hock or something.
Salt. So much salt.
Salted beef.
Salted pork. All over the place. Not enough to be jerky, but salt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavily salted fish.
Along then.
All right. Continuing along, as you kind of get to, we'll say it would be about 3 hours in, like almost. You come to a place where the road forks. It's like another path kind of comes, and by this point, you've got a feel for how the lay of this road, and it is the whole way it is a dirt path. Some sections are paved and kind of this old dwarvish stone, but in a lot of places that is lost, worn away, or buried. But the dirt road is maintained and is definitely well traveled, and you do pass people every few minutes. Okay, maybe not every few minutes, but like definitely a couple an hour.
All right.
But here you come to a kind of a junction of the road. There's a way that goes left and a way that continues straight.
Straight on then.
Samuel, you've traveled this way. It's straight, right?
Yeah, straight.
All right.
Oh. And that is definitely the more well-traveled road as it kind of turns back once more towards the lake shore, just kind of doing this ever-winding thing. You can see there's another keep visible as you kind of come around one corner of a hill that was probably accessible as one of the branching things accessible off that road that you just passed. But then also as you kind of come up over the lip of the hill, you can see a large bridge up ahead. Probably a couple hours maybe out, but like very visible just because of your height over it.
Right. Morgan is going to step up a bit to talk with Mr. Cross. So, the lady we picked up, is that your wife? Not the terrifying snake one, the dark-haired one.
Oh,
they're both dark-haired.
Sorry.
I actually have white hair, thank you.
Never mind.
brief errata. I misspoke. It's only been like a couple of hours. Not like approaching 4 hours. Just
Yeah.
Okay. No, she's more of a sister to me. We grew up together.
Oh, so it's like it's an incest thing?
What's
I'm not-
interesting?
Quite sure what you're on about.
I want it noted. I wanted a 6 charisma, and Chris didn't give it to me.
Yeah, not quite sure what you're on about there. We were both lived in an orphanage growing up. That's why we served per law.
Oh.
We know each other through that. We grew up together.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry to hear you weren't wanted. So do you? How do you? I'm kind of a somewhat vaguely holy person. I'm not holy. Where'd you train?
Ian, by the way, we could see 0 of your face during that whole.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh shoot! I don't know how to pronounce that. How did we pronounce that? Riona, what? God. It's was that the name of the island or the?
The island, not the order.
Yeah, it's on an island called Agrian.
Agrian?
Oh. I can throw it up. Hold on.
You could throw a whole island?
Throw a whole island.
Probably. We did a lot of strength training.
A lot of Tybo in Pelor's cult, apparently.
Thoughts. Anyway, fairly remote. You definitely haven't heard of it since.
That's definitely not a me word.
Nope.
So, Bronwyn, is that your word?
It's not my word. I don't claim the words of
I
certain
could have sworn that this
languages.
was talked about, but Chris, did you have something?
Who named this place? Because I did not name this place.
It was a group effort.
Fine, but whoever named this place should probably tell us how to pronounce the word.
Aghiron?
I think it's
I'm going to say Aghiron.
Agirian. That's what we're going with, Agirian. Now that I've said it and I can say it, so.
This was what I wrote down that you had selected.
Yes, no, that's what I have.
Okay.
All right, Agirian.
Well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine. No, this is my favorite way to play Dungeons and Dragons.
With half competence. Disadvantage on all knowledge checks from the actual players.
All right, so jumping back into it, we'll say that you did not stumble over the word for 10 minutes. You
actually know where you're from.
Your character was.
Yes, I knew right away where I was from.
I'm sure. You're right. I've never heard of it. That sounds like it's made up. Honestly, that sounds like a fake word. It sounds nice though. I would love to see it eventually.
I can assure you it was probably well thought out by whoever found the place to begin with.
It's been there for a while.
Yes.
It has been there quite some time.
Good. Well, I've butchered small talk enough for the day. I'll leave you to it. And I just look at Sam with a face that says, "Help me."
Assuming Raknul is somewhere nearby as you walk away, I turn to Raknul. That one concerns me.
He's odd, but I think he means well.
About this time you guys come to the bridge you saw ahead, it was not as far ahead as I said it was before because I was wrong. And here you see basically there is a river. It's not small like as far as rivers in the grand scheme, but definitely compared to the Broad, it's much smaller. That winds out of a small, like, kind of hovel between two hills, and there's a bridge that's built across it. It's definitely not of the same build that the Dorvish Bridge is of White Sinks, where this is a human bridge for sure. It is. Not all Dwarvish stone stands out as instantly Dwarvish, but it's definitely a cut above all human works. And this is kind of just a simple bridge, crosses over. But it does afford you quite a good view of the lake and up the kind of Fable Fork, the river that you're crossing here. And directly on the next bank, with only a slight bit of more travel, maybe another 15, 30 minutes. You come to another fork in the road. Once again, there's a way that goes straight east, and there's a way that goes north.
Continuing east, I suppose.
I thought we were just following the river. Why are we going east?
Well, we're headed northeast. So, which way is the river going? Or are we just on a bank?
So you've crossed over the Fable Fork, and you're currently like off to one side. In the distance, you can see northward flows the Fable Fork, and eastwards it stretches Lake Elor, and then runs the River Broad beyond that.
We're going north.
All right.
North it is.
Yes, the north.
Yes, north.
And you can see within the kind of the dirt trail here, it looks like both are pretty well traveled paths. The one to the east has more like kind of evidence of carts being pulled. They're kind of deep grooves, whereas it looks like more perhaps a higher volume of traffic going north, just on horseback and on foot.
You probably could make a killing if you built a riverboat station here. A little traffic coming in from the east. All the upriver traffic.
And no sooner does he say that, than you do actually see a kind of a small shallow bottom boat that is floating down the Fable Fork. It doesn't seem to have anybody paddling at the moment or anything. It just seems to be using the flow of the river in this current time. But
well, that's terrifying.
Wait, why is the boat terrifying?
Because it's empty.
I'm pretty certain there's someone.
It's covered.
Oh.
There's just no one rowing.
There's nobody visible outside. There is a small canvas shelter on the kind of back of it, and it though it is a kind of shallow bottom, it's not like a flat bottom.
Any identifiable marks on it?
Make perception check.
I will.
God damn.
While everyone's talking about how
Yeah, I
scary
don't
the
think I see
boat,
anything.
No.
I'm just gonna tie a small leather cord around my wrist and cast mage armor on myself.
Right. I mean, you all continue on the path north. The boat floats on by, and it's a little bit quieter. You still have people passing every so often. Now that you're further from the city, they're much more inclined. You get a lot more. Oh, and how goes it? And
Pretty well. How are you?
travel well, and kind of just like little tiny passing comments.
Standard NPC talk.
They don't seem to have care about carrying on any conversation. None slow, but it does seem like they show you kind of the respect of kind of just a nod and a word.
None of these fuckers have exclamation points above them, so fuck them.
But yeah, about let's see. It would be late afternoon. Yeah, late afternoon. You all kind of following this path, weaving closer and further from the Fable Fork up into slightly hillier land. Begin to you come to another small, this time wooden bridge built across the Fable Fork. And on the other side, you can actually see the stone road, the old road of the dwarves. It has reemerged, and that is where it runs. You imagine this bridge is built here so that you can cross back to the more stable dwarven road, and you all do.
How late into the day is
and you
it?
come to another. What?
How late
it's
into
late
the day is it? Okay, never mind.
Well, I guess mid-afternoon.
Okay.
You all have traveled for about, we'll say, 6 hours at this point. And you all are able to travel, in general, 8 hours a day is what most people will travel, taking just pauses throughout their day, and any more than that begins to stress you. But you all come to another stretch where pretty soon after you hit that the stone road, there's another castle. This one a little bit larger and a little bit more well surrounded with farms, and even a small little town built right along the walls of the castle. It's just kind of set off to the distance. The trees have been cleared from the road, perhaps to afford a view of the castle as you pass. But you see there's actually a couple of farms that are set directly off the road itself. And as you pass one, you kind of hear a muffled, like thump, like the sound of something falling quickly, and kind of a crack. And you see, kind of all just glancing over, there's what looks to be some kind of commotion at the large barn this farm has, and a number of small creatures have kind of rushed out from the doors, and a farmer is running frantically towards an open gate that goes almost directly onto the road, as these creatures are quickly overtaking him. You all are about maybe 120 feet away from this at the time. And the creatures kind of run all around him. Seemingly, they know what they're doing. They see the gate is open and they're going for it. And you see the farmer kind of desperately looking around. He sees you all. Stop them! Stop them! As you all see this herd of tiny little creatures heading your way.
Can I take? I'll take dash actions.
We'll go ahead and say we can roll some initiative.
Cool.
Oh shit.
I don't actually have like real tokens for you guys yet. I know that I said I was gonna do that like a long time ago, but I was too busy ruining everybody's lives with encumbrance rules.
Wow.
At least he's honest.
You should be able to drag your just characters on there, and then I don't know, just like keep track.
How are we gonna tell the difference between me?
It's not letting me. It's not doing anything.
I see like 15 of you.
Oh my god, that's a gaggle of Samuels.
There are no Samuels on my screen. Ow!
We're gonna be 100.
Here I am.
Which direction are we coming from?
You are on the left side of this map.
Oh, the left?
We have not rested at all since the last encounter, correct?
Nope.
No.
I mean, we had time for a short rest. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you had time to, but I haven't heard anybody really stop. You only took 30 minutes of break between the shopping and it.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Stressful time, but it isn't quite simple enough.
No.
Yeah, sure.
No, that's fine. I was just checking.
Yeah.
I was making sure we haven't had a long rest since then. This is still the same day.
Yes, you definitely haven't had a long rest since then.
Yeah, I don't care about short rest because that's low level. And what the fuck am I gonna do on short rest?
Okay.
All right.
Quick situation, but it should be okay.
Is everybody on there now?
Yes.
No, it does not look like it.
Second.
I haven't rolled yet. I should do that.
Shit, I haven't rolled yet.
So the second time you've rolled a natural 20, Nick, on an initiative?
No, I think it's the first time. I just rolled pretty high a different time as well.
Oh, hitting a natural 20s.
Oh, whoops.
Jesus.
All right. We will spare the stating of all the numbers beyond the ones we've already stated, and we'll say just go ahead. I think Raknul.
Cool.
You see these tiny creatures. You can't get a real good look at what they are yet, but
Well, I can make a dash action for it. I don't think I can go any farther, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah.
all right, you're just running over there.
Yeah, I'll just start running.
All right, is that your turn?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find. I'll just use this dude with a stick. That'll be good.
It sucks to not be a monk anymore.
All right, where do you get to?
I already moved my token.
Was that with your dash?
That was 60 feet, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, Morgan, I would say, by the way, as you approach Ragnall, you see these tiny four-legged creatures. They're almost like little horses, but then you kind of look, and they're like miniature llamas.
What?
I was really hoping we were about to fight 100 duck-sized horses.
But when I say they're miniature, I mean like they are like duck-sized llamas.
Oh, cute.
Interesting.
We'll also make the dash.
I want to keep.
Morgan will also make the dash action and go here. I believe it's a hot 60 feet. Yep, that's 60 feet. So that's my turn.
All right, so do you guys see the auras on them or not?
No.
All right, perfect. I'm just using auras to move them because I'm too lazy to like measure out distances.
Right.
Understandable.
So like approximate distance for like 1,000 of these things, dude. On their turn, they're all taking the dash action and running.
Did we clarify what these creatures are like? Don't look like they're supposed to be here at all? Or...
They look like they were probably being kept in some domestic sense.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Oh, they're all fucking gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, like, they're just...
I could catch up to them.
Please do not go wolf form on these tiny baby llamas.
It's like a sheepdog, but angrier and, like, capable of eating them in one bite.
Okay, see, so I'm hearing conflicting recommendations here.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm hearing conflicting recommendations.
Eat any of them.
All right, we're just kind of we're really eyeballing. There's 20 of them. All right, they've all dashed. Elrich.
Elrich's just gonna dash this way, which is 60 feet, trying to cut these ones off.
All right. And that will bring us to Seris.
She's not in a particularly big hurry, so she'll just move her 30 feet. And yeah, that'll be it.
Initiative count, but you're just not feeling it.
Samuel.
Yeah, fuck
Fucking
it.
boogie.
Bonus action, wolf, action dash, 100 feet.
Roaring past you, Seris, you see as one of your companions seems to kind of like fall to all fours, begin kind of running, and as he does, you kind of lose vision of his form for a second, and when it kind of focuses, you see a large wolf in his place.
Oh god. Always terrifying.
Oh, so cute.
And starts barking.
Unmistakably a magical transmutation.
Transformation.
Magic girl transformation?
Oh yeah. No, it's basically just fucking Sailor Moon up in here right now, but with fur. So
All right.
better.
That brings us to Riona.
Same landing though.
Riona.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like dash and try to catch these tiny things. Which is gonna lead me to
What's your speed as a wolf?
me?
50 feet.
Oh,
Okay. Sorry, no.
I can't wait for the inevitable foreshadowing that this concludes to, where our final fight is us wrangling in the heads of Tiamat.
I also want to. Should I prepare an action of trying to like animal handling catch one of them if they pass me?
You did use that.
Isn't it a bonus? No, it's not. Never mind.
This one is at the very least a random encounter.
You're not a rogue anymore.
I know, it's just so weird.
This is the second one in a row.
I'm not a rogue. I'm not a
The
cat.
catch mission.
All right.
Around.
So is that your
If only we could bonus action move.
Is that your turn?
Yes, that is.
All right.
That's
Liam.
my turn, sorry. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna run over here. See, I can move 60 feet, right? So. Oh yeah, I'm all the way over there with my dash, and I lost. No, wait, that's not correct. What? Did I misplace? No, there it is. Okay. Hold on, I drew from the wrong line. There we go. Okay. There. I think it was here.
All right. Raknul.
I'll just dash to get next to the door or to the gate.
All right.
Okay.
Morgan.
Morgan will first move. Perfect. 30 feet. He'll move 30 feet forward, and he'll draw his dagger and shield, and he'll start banging on the shield to try and spook them back into the
All right.
into the paddock.
Well, you can make an animal handling check or a intimidation check, Kala.
Well, I
One
mean,
is
my
wisdom,
brother, you
one is
know.
charisma. Let's find out.
Yeah. Animal handling.
I figured.
Boop, 16.
All right. Yeah, you can see that you've spooked a good deal of them.
I have definitely spooked them. But that is turn.
All right. On their turn, so first the negative effect of your spook. This guy who is going to run back into the pack is going to run right out of the pack, which is right about here. These two down here are actually feeling really like they don't know what to do, so they're just kind of running into each. Oh god, I made that one really fast.
He starts.
They're running right into each other.
He's so scared he starts stress eating.
Very rapidly.
You
Luckily,
can see
luckily he also
here.
starts metabolizing like a jet engine, so he loses the weight. Oh no! Another one started.
I got away with it too the second time. All right, you can see that you've actually spooked these ones up here and like running back, and you can tell like these are mischievous creatures. They've done this like once or twice before, and they're like, we've been caught. Like they don't like protest. But the other ones are going to run from you. And they're going to do so at a speed of 60 feet, which is pretty far.
Jeez.
Well, I saved some of them.
Yeah, but we also have a wolf.
Yeah, he could probably get them into that second paddock over there.
All right, so.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say, for the sake of this, they do kind of start like splitting up a little bit. Elrich.
Wall of fire.
I'm gonna run over here, and before I take my action, so Elrich might know, but it's something that we probably should have discussed before off screen. If I mold earth under a creature, do they don't take damage as per the spell, but do they fall, like, do they sink down into the 5-foot hole?
I will read the spell right now.
Yeah, I don't believe it specifies. I'm gonna post it real quick.
I imagine these things look like a mix between a llama and a corgi for some reason.
That was the wrong one.
Wrong one.
One earth. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I would say you could. So it would turn the ground. It would definitely turn the ground into difficult terrain. But you're also able to move the earth like 5 feet away. So you can move one 5 feet.
All right.
By moving the earth beneath them.
In that case, I'm just gonna try to grapple the one by me.
All right.
Which is going to probably not go well. Yeah. So 6 grapple.
It's a contested check.
All right. One moment.
6.
You know, he was a learned life.
You are you using acrobatics or athletics for this? I can't see it.
So to do a grapple, it has to be athletics.
Yeah. You tackle towards it, and it just kind of darts out from your arms, and you kind of slam it to the ground.
All right.
Capturing the greased pig is mighty difficult there, buddy.
I forgot the farmer should probably also be moving on his turn.
No, he's just standing there
letting us do
watching.
it.
He's not being useful.
Of course not.
He's just giving up.
Go get him.
He's just giving up. He's thinking about the life.
Run right into the center of him. So that brings us to Seris.
Seris is going to move right over her And she's going to like unstrap her lyre from the side of her pack and start playing a tune to try to calm the little llama thing down, and see if she can get her to like follow her back over to the pen. Can I make a performance check?
Chris, you are muted.
I will allow performance because I'm kind of viewing this as a skill challenge in a sense.
$22.
Yeah, I would say that you're not sure if it's like really calming music, but you're definitely able to kind of create noise and distraction, scare / entice the creature back towards back to follow, like basically moving with you.
Yeah.
All right, that will bring us to Samuel's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash action again to right. Yeah.
All right.
And stare at them menacingly.
All right. Riona.
What would it be to try to lasso one of them with my rope?
Is your rope in any way prepared as a lasso?
No.
So it would be a bit.
Just wanted to ask.
How long does it take to tie a lasso? Was it more than 6 seconds?
Like, I mean, basically, you could like do a loop and like try and like throw it around one. I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a range of like, for this specific scenario, 15 feet.
Yeah, they're 30 feet away.
It'd be an attack using dexterity.
So I'm just gonna run up and try to grab one of them.
All right.
Grapple.
Ew, dexterity.
That'll be athletic check.
That's fine. I'm gonna go over there. That's what I mean by over there. And I'm gonna try to get the one right next to me. So that one. And
all right. You grab it by the like kind of elongated llama furry neck and kind of just lift it off the ground.
Look, I got one.
You can see it's trying to spit in your general direction, but you're able to kind of guide its head away from you.
I'm like, holding it out full length.
It's adorable.
That will bring us to Liam.
Which one was that?
The one right next to my character.
Hold on, I have to zoom in. Okay. I'm gonna run up and try to grab the other one. Let's give it a shot. Why am I not proficient in athletics?
Why aren't you proficient in
That's
athletics?
a really good question.
That is
I
a
am.
fantastic question.
Well, while you were
And yet you know
at the gym, he was, learning Sylvan.
He was studying the
And
blade.
I learned other languages, thank
A
you.
brutal
I
12.
learned Sylvan. For some reason. Go fucking weirdo.
He was learning Sylvan.
That's a 12.
In the blade.
Chris is muted again.
Right.
Yep, he is.
I
Just
am
come
sorry. It's because there's noise here. Yeah. So you catch it and it slips a little bit out of your hands, and you lift and you get it off the ground just an inch, and its legs start sliding across the ground, and it just keeps running in the air. But you do have it held.
Good effort, brother.
I love these things. I want one.
That will bring us to Raknul. Oh, would you like to move with it anywhere? I think you still have some of your movement.
I do. Hold on, let me think about how far. I think I moved 20 feet. I got a 10.
And it's half speed while carrying.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'll just step closer. Bring him one step closer there.
One step closer to the llama, and he about to break.
To the gate.
All right. Raknul. Well, so you can move. You can move with the llama, like the llama. You're carrying the llama.
Yes.
Effectively. Okay, I just wanted to confirm you.
I can't move the llama if that's what you're implying.
You're holding the llama in this instance.
I think you use the token.
But I can't move the token.
Oh yeah, but like I will move it to wherever you would like to move it.
Okay.
You know, I'll even I'll turn its aura off, or that'll really annoy you. But I will give you control of this particular token.
I'm gonna dash to.
For sake of simplicity, once you have successfully grappled these, they do not escape.
Cool.
I'm gonna.
Convenient.
I'm gonna dash to cut these off to try and
All right.
like guide them back towards their pack.
And you have noticed just from wherever you all stand, it does affect, like they do move away from you all. They move more dramatically when you like are able to affect them with some ability or something like that. However, they just standing there is enough to help.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get them back into the main group so that we can use the sheepdog.
Morgan?
Okay.
Ian is muted.
What goes around comes around, apparently. Morgan's going to move there. And he is going to... yeah, he'll just stay where he is, and he will cast Ray of Frost at this point right here, not hitting the creature. And what you see is just he mumbles a few arcane words, and a large icicle forms by the side of his head, and just like fucking Gilgamesh from Fate, it just fires out to this point and embeds itself into the ground.
All right.
Thunk.
Yeah.
That'll spook him.
Yeah.
And that'll be turn.
All right. And mostly from Ragnall's presence, but also from the ice bolt a little bit, they're going to try and move back towards their pack here. But the pack is kind of confused about what to do because it was running from Morgan, if you recall, but now there's a wolf in front of it. So
it's more like a herd.
Yeah, the herd. So these three are going to continue to run. But other than that, yeah, so they'll get to there, but the rest are just kind of bunching up for safety.
And if only I had spell slots left. That is a prime sleep spell.
And that'll bring us to Elrich.
So I know this one is following some like musical thing. I'm still gonna try to grab it. Try to get some like dignity back. Actually, oh wait, no, it's an action to summon. Never mind. Oh no, less dignity. Dignity.
Ooh.
Sitting over here with my 23 athletics.
Oh, buddy.
You know?
Yeah, you try and grab it, but it's like, it's not even like it dodges. It just kind of is continuing to like move with the music, like walk along because of the music. And it does seem a lot more docile than it was hearing the music. Seris?
Yeah. So Seris is just gonna keep moving back towards the gate. Will we say I can only move 30 feet, or can we use the dash and just kind of walk 60 feet?
Yeah,
okay. Dash. Yeah. I didn't know if with plan or whatever, but yeah. So yeah, we'll do that and just kind of keep making our way back.
I'll say you're running along while you're playing, but you know.
Well, I'm not running. You know, I use the dash action, but it's a
brisk walk.
Yeah,
it's pretty brisk. 60 feet in 6 seconds it's pretty brisk.
Oh
yeah. Samuel.
1 second. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to move right now. Right there.
All right.
It's about 7 miles per hour, by the way. 60 feet in 6 seconds.
I also checked it. I also Googled that. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Riona?
So dash action.
Keeping the little llama like held out like this, I'm just gonna like happily jog as far as I can with it to the pin. Which can I dash or is it okay? Yeah, so I'm gonna put it in the pin actually.
Once again, we are in the situation where these creatures are small enough that we're just kind of getting into weird rules here.
Okay.
I know that we're wrangling small creatures 2 games in a row, but this was a random encounter, so like totally not my fault.
I mean, I did
Sure.
nap through the first one, so.
Chris is up.
Yeah, Jimmy's got the right idea. This is the entire campaign. He's wrong about the heads of Tiamat though, because it's a Tarask.
How big of a wolf do we need to wrangle a Tarask?
You go to the 7 heavens and help Thor with his Tarasks that have gotten loose.
Oh, I know they're engines of destructions, but they're just so cuddly.
All right. Let's see. Is that your turn, Riona? You top in there, Liam?
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna run mine over to the pen. I think I can make it all the way over there.
All right.
That's it.
And that will bring us to Raknul.
I'm going to get to about right
And
here.
you would notice that, like, for the moment you have this herd, but the herd will take the shape of whatever, like, the kind of stimulus around it. So, like, alone, it's going to be difficult to actually.
Yeah, it's mostly that I'm trying to like
keep them from going farther away.
I'm trying to like keep my arms wide and like keep my. I'm not trying to like move. I'm not trying to like quickly break into their pack.
Would you like to make an animal handling check?
Yeah, sure.
I will say with advantage.
Oh, dang!
I feel like it.
Awesome. That my proficiency in animal handling is gonna make this real easy.
I'm giving you advantage based on the notion that I feel that you've been acting in quite a herder.
Yeah.
Herder?
Yes.
Shepherd?
Yeah.
Shepherd?
With great proficiency.
Excellent.
Right.
You didn't fire a shotgun at the herd.
17.
You look. It definitely seems like you've created a larger space around yourself that they're going to be avoiding.
Cool.
Morgan.
In the same vein, Morgan is going to dashy. Yeah, and just sort of corner him right there. Bloop. No animal handling, but
But thanks to your positioning and his animal handling, they are going to move about 30 feet back towards the pen.
Cool.
Wow.
It's working.
Hey.
It is.
Elrich.
I am just gonna defeatedly walk back.
No.
You've been beat by, you've been struck by a slick llama boy.
Seris.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep on marching back and get it to into the pen.
All right.
And I'll probably strike up a conversation with the farmer. Don't worry, they're professionals.
I can see that y'all doing quite a great job. He's got an accent that you've never heard before. It is not
Do
pleasant.
you know anybody named Johnny?
Well, my name's Johnny.
Even from where you are from, and a lot of their accents and words being pretty hard learned, it's difficult to interact with somebody that is a whole nother tier of like unknown.
We're talking like banjo music, or
Yeah.
We're talking like Mike Cunningham, right?
Samuel.
I don't think his llamas move.
Wait, yeah, they didn't move.
Oh, you're right. Your llama should have moved. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll say this one doesn't really know what he's doing, so he's gonna move 30 feet there. These guys are going to run 60 feet ish that way.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You do see that is another enclosure. It's just like a much larger enclosure.
Okay, so it is completely enclosed though.
Yeah, there's two large enclosures, one off the back of the barn and one like that includes his house.
Okay.
That enclosure is where we keep the displacer beasts.
Fuck.
God damn it, you figured out what you're hurting in the Underdark arc.
Should we just go ahead and commit to the Shepherds as a name now?
All right, Riona.
Is that our name now?
So
Not our name.
wait, what? No, it's still my turn. You just-
sorry.
I didn't realize we were also playing Fire Emblem Awakening.
Samuel.
Yeah, I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna make an animal handling check to try and scare it back into joining its herd.
All right.
Which I don't have, so it's just +1 because I don't have proficiency in it, and Wolf's Wisdom is 1.
No, you keep your wisdom.
Oh shit, I do.
don't you?
Oh yeah, shit, I do. I keep my intelligence stats, intelligence, wisdom, charisma.
You keep brain stat.
I keep brain stat. Me big smart.
And people say you never use your animal handling skill.
I mean, I took proficiency in it for all it's worth.
How did you know?
Oh. Oh, hey.
20.
Hey.
You see, like,
Good at this.
do llamas have tails?
Sure.
It's got like, we'll say it's got like a fur puff on its butt, and it just kind of droops lower as it's kind of ashamedly approaching its herd.
You're a bad llama. Bad.
All right.
Got scolded by a dire wolf.
That brings us now that it's Riona's turn.
Yeah.
I was right. They do just have they have like little curled tails. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have like little puffy ones. They're llamas.
It's like puffy curled tails, dude. That's so cute. All right, sorry.
Moving on. I guess I'm gonna, because these ones are moving in this direction.
Yeah, they're
towards me.
kind of moving like this way ish. So as long as you keep them like, on that path, we should be okay.
Okay, I'm gonna. I'm gonna come down 30 feet and try to like basically guide them in from going too low.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can make a check for that, or to assist with that, and that'll make it like more poignant. Or you can just stand there for the moment.
Okay. I mean, would it be animal handling?
Yeah, that would be the most practical in this instance because you're not trying to scare them away from yourself.
Hey.
All right. Yeah, that's a success.
Well, it's the same as my bonus, but I'm proficient.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
Super high DCs.
I assumed. I'm just memeing about the fact that anything that isn't athletics is literally carried by my proficiency bonus because I don't have bonuses otherwise.
Let's see. Liam.
I'll kind of move over here, get out of the way, and kind of wait to engage with the farmer. Maybe after we get everything in, but kind of maintaining this barrier so they don't scramble. And that's it.
All right. Raknul.
I'm gonna move to here and just kind of start herding them towards the gate.
All right, Morgan.
Morgan is going to do the same. He's going to move. Well, let me measure. Yeah, right there. Just give him a nice arc to go in. Bloop, and just yell, "Get along, little lammies."
And the creatures, which you've actually gotten very close to their real names.
Oh no.
Do successfully become herded with all of your help back into the pen. These two are running somewhere, but technically contained. The one, let's see, you scared this one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll run right here, and I'll say just because they're hurting, he looks to be like kind of caught up. Elrich.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, keep moving with everyone else. I'll actually pick up the pace a little bit and, try to join the arc to keep the last straggler from, getting out. And that'll be turn.
Alrighty. Seris.
Seris will close the gate and go up to the farmer and be like, "See, I told you nothing to worry about."
All right.
We will take the last one as a blood sacrifice.
No, pet.
You say that, but honest to God, if they started running like farther away, I was going to opportunity attack that bitch.
He is he's like, he looks really relieved that you guys were here at the right time in the right place. Wow, that could have been real bad. Tim.
Just
how much do I
the
want?
Farmer will never know.
How much do I want to chase down these fucks?
Look, if you want them to be locked in there with you, I'll oblige.
The wolf just looks like Rorschach.
Wee! Job ain't over till it's over.
All right, Riona.
There's a fry cook in there that these Lamis are about to fucking meet.
Oh boy. Well, that was fun. Those are such cute little creatures, aren't they? Mischievous though.
Well, they're quite a handful.
I mean, we still got one more, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nonsense. That's already
Yep, just waiting on it.
Raknul. You did see this one has been sent your way, but is also currently confused because the gate was closed.
Oh.
Can I just walk up and pick it up?
Yeah, I'll say make a athletic check with an advantage, because it's like not gonna even a goat that's like well domesticated wouldn't let you pick it up, or a sheep.
Yeah, 22.
But yeah, you kind of look like you're standing, kind of hands back, like you're there to shepherd it, and then you just kind of snatch it and pick it up.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say for the sake of brevity that Samuel's able to chase them around and around in there, and eventually corral them back into the other pen. You're able to
Have fun. Sam always wanted to be sheepdog.
The farmer kind of leans up against the fence. I can't help y'all, or I can't thank y'all enough for all that. That would have been quite a mess in my hands if they'd gotten loose.
Oh, no problem. We're happy to assist.
And this man is I know that I'm almost intelligible with this terrible accent I'm doing, but this man is very unintelligible.
Oh fuck! I almost have an answer for that.
Well, I can't offer too much, but I can offer you maybe some silver and a little bit of a place to stay if y'all looking for shelter for the night.
Yeah, I think we would appreciate that.
That
That would be
sounds
fantastic. Thank you.
Been on the road all day. That would be lovely.
All right, my house is just right up this way where your pet wolf is running around there.
Oh, he's not a pet.
He's not gonna eat.
No, he's very well
Is
behaved.
he
I'm
not?
gonna reach over and just kind of pat on Samuel's head and just look at him.
Well, Samuel's currently running rampant. This is taking place while he's reining those two in, so he's running rampantly. Right now.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about him too much.
He's fine.
Should be all right.
I haven't seen him eat anything while a wolf yet.
He's actually the reverse lycanthrope. I'm kidding, by the way. He's not.
Pesa, every full moon I turn into a human.
That has unnerved
To a
him.
moon every time he sees a full wolf.
Please ignore him.
Why is it so funny?
Oh my god.
Why?
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, right up this way. The farmer kind of turns and shows you towards his house. I can't outdo that moon comment, so I'm not even going to try. It is 11 o'clock here in the Eastern Seaboard, so we're going to go ahead and call the session there.
All right.
Okay, another session of wrangling down, but we will be back next week here on the Twitch channel. And
We will not be back here next week.
Nope, I lied. Not next week. Dude, I've already messed it up.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. December 30th, if you're watching live. But yeah, you can catch us 8 o'clock on Twitch or on YouTube anytime. And I is likes or something.
Sure.
Subscribe.
Liking, following,
Favorite?
subscribe.
Like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Swipe right on Tinder.
I don't think we
What's
really.
the Tinder handle, Jimmy?
So, you
Uh,
can